Let's give a warm welcome, please, for Mimi.
You know, they say you can tell a lot by a person's handshake. And when I first met my husband, we were a little formal, Mr. Brown. We shook hands and I said, you know, this guy is cool, he's confident, and for lunch, he had cake. But Mr. Brown is here tonight, my better half. And when we first moved into our house, he bought us matching Michigan State gnomes. So they were playing all nicely on the front porch. And I went to MSU, go green. Any Spartans in the room? All right, go white. He went to the other school that shall remain nameless. He married up. What can I say? And I come home one day and my gnome was missing. And I said, Mr. Brown, have you seen my gnome? And he said, no, Mrs. Brown, I have not seen your gnome. And a few minutes later, I get a mysterious text message with a ransom note. And it had a picture of my gnome with a piece of green tape over his mouth. And it said it demanded sexual favors in exchange for seeing my gnome again. Hell, I ain't seen the gnome since. Mr. Brown is also really, really, really handy. And so when we bought our house, he went through exchanging out all of the light fixtures so that when you walk in the room, the lights would turn on. And he mentioned to me in passing, he said, you know, hey, babe, I just bought the clapper. And it's upstairs in the bedroom. So I go in and I said, okay, I think I know how this works. I saw this on like these 80s commercials. I clap. Nothing happens, okay? So maybe I need to clap louder. Hell, something's wrong with this thing. Well, maybe I need to clap in a beat, so I clap in a beat. Still didn't turn on. And Mr. Brown walks past our bedroom and he looks, he said, what the hell are you doing? I never said I installed the clapper. And as a part of our house projects, we had our floors redone, our wood floors. And the floor guy said, well, you need about 4 to 8 hours to allow it to cure. And so you can't walk on it. He said, well, what about our cat? We have Kitty Brown. He said, well, you don't want cat prints in there either. So I called my mom and I said, hey, Ma, would you let us bring Kitty Brown over? And she said, sure. So we bring Kitty Brown over and she locks eyes with Uncle Pedro. And they had some conversation, which I thought was odd. Well, not that odd. Uncle Pedro is a cat. And I swear to goodness, this is how it went down. It was like, meow, 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 meow. Kitty Brown said something about Pedro's mama. And it was on. And for the next 2 hours, they kind of fought back and forth. You know, Kitty Brown was using Uncle Pedro's litter box. Uncle Pedro was eating her food. And after a couple hours, my mother called me and she said, Mimi and Aaron, Mr. Brown, you need to come get Kitty Brown. She can't go home, but she can't stay here. And so Mr. Brown picks up Kitty Brown and puts her in her little carrier. He says, come on, Kitty Brown. We've been kicked out of better places than this. So not too soon after that, it was really awkward when we go visit my parents. You know, Uncle Pedro would give Mr. Brown looks, and they had like this stare down contest. It was really awkward. And a couple weeks later, my parents were going out of town, and they said, you know, do you guys mind watching the house while we go? We said, sure. So Mr. Brown is asleep on the couch one night, and he said to me when he woke up the next morning, he said, Pedro tried to kill me last night. It's a little dramatic, don't you think? He said, no, like he unplugged my CPAP. He sleeps with a CPAP because he has sleep apnea, and he can't breathe without the air. So he said he unplugged it like 3 times. I said, that was probably by accident. So the next night, I come downstairs and come grab a glass of water, and Mr. Brown sleeps on the couch again, and I see Pedro sitting on his chest. And he has his paw over his mouth. And I swear to God, I heard him say, shh, shh, don't fight it. You know, I love Mr. Brown, and we had gone out to hang out with some friends, our friends Mark and Elise. And it's interesting because sometimes when he gets around his friends, he tries to one-up them. You ever see that happen? And they were talking about high school sports. And so my friend Mark was like, yeah, I ran all state track. Mr. Brown said, well, I played football. And then Mark said, well, I was all sports and basketball. And Mr. Brown said, I was really, really good at wrestling. And I looked at my friend Elise and I said, wrestle? All he can do is wrestle some cake. Thank you. My name's Amy Brown. Have a good night.
Tonight, we want to bring all the performers here. Let's start with bringing up the acting two students. Come on!